Well, this is quite a crazy story.
It definitely is. Thousands of residents along the Ohio-Pennsylvania border are waiting to return home. Maybe some of them won't want to because there's been a massive controlled chemical release from a train wreck in that area.
The fiery train derailment occurred in East Palestine, Ohio on Friday. Some of the freight cars were carrying hazardous materials, and this is where it all gets really tenuous. On Tuesday, authorities began releasing and burning some toxic chemicals in hopes of avoiding an explosion. Mass evacuations were ordered for residents in the area. Officials are monitoring the wreckage as concerns grow over the environmental impact of the crash. Erik Olson joins us now. He is the Senior Strategic Director of Health for the Natural Resources Defense Council. Erik, welcome. You know, Errol and I were both just saying that if we were one of the people in this mandatory evacuation zone, we would feel really hesitant about ever potentially moving our families, our children back into this area. Is that a valid concern for them to have, given what has happened there?
Well, we know the immediate risk is breathing this stuff in. You've seen the pictures of these enormous clouds of toxic chemicals, and the fires certainly are the immediate threat, and breathing these toxic chemicals. But some of them can get into the groundwater if they spill as liquids. Some of them can also stick around for a while. So you want to make sure that we've cleaned that up and that people are not going to be exposed over the long term. And if I were living nearby, I would be asking tough questions about what we know about the long-term consequences of this massive spill.
Well, Erik, help us dive into that very topic, because if residents are going to ask questions and they'll say, oh, is it safe? We've already seen issues in some cities where the drinking water isn't safe, hasn't been safe for years, but cities are so strapped that they can't address the replacements necessary. This is the type of stuff used to make PVC. I mean, these are very serious chemicals. How long, worst case scenario, could they be in the groundwater, and could they contaminate the area?
Well, one of the chemicals that is involved is vinyl chloride, which, as you say, is used to make PVC, a kind of plastic. And a lot of that can vaporize, it can blow off. But if it gets into the ground, it can dissolve in the water, and it can stick around in the groundwater for a while. So that's really one of the things I'd be worried about. I'd like to know what other chemicals may have been released. And frankly, sometimes even the chemicals that they use to put out the fire can be dangerous. So you want to really make sure that you've checked that water and that the water is not contaminated, the soil isn't contaminated, and if it is, it needs to be cleaned up.
What happens for residents then who don't feel safe? Who is responsible for checking all of these things, for if it isn't safe, for finding them other homes to live? Is this going to be something that ultimately the federal government needs to step in on?
Well, literally, this is a hot mess, right? I mean, you've got a serious situation. You really need the federal government's resources and expertise to come in. The Federal Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, has a role. In many cases, the state also plays a very important role. But honestly, it really ought to be the polluter that pays for the cleanup and to make sure that the water is safe, to make sure that they've cleaned up any soil contamination and compensate anybody that's been harmed. And often the polluters get off without really any consequences. So I think it's very important to make sure that the people responsible for this incident are paying people that have been harmed by it.
Yeah. All right, Erik Olson, thank you.
Thank you, Erik.
Thanks for having me.